Hello students, welcome to the class. Children, today I will teach you for the world tomorrow. This poem is taken from the unit the Future World from Reader book, and it is one of the very finest poem of the book. In this poem, poet is saying about the how the changed world will be, how the future world will be. This poem is written by Sunil Gangopadhyay and it is translated by Sheila Sen Gupta. So this poem deals with the changes which will take place in future, and it is a prediction. It's not sure that this will happen, but it is a prediction, and poet is imagining these things. So now comes to the explanation. For the world tomorrow, we don't know if the world will live for a century or more. Poet is saying that he is not knowing whether this world will survive for a century or more. We don't know if a deluge one day will sweep away the last man alive. We don't know. Here, children, deluge means flood. Deluge means flood. You can say flood. Flood. Okay? Deluge means flood. So, poet is saying that we don't know that one day a huge deluge come, a huge flood will come, a great flood will come, and it will sweep away all man of the earth. Okay, so poet is not knowing whether this will happen or no. Maybe this will happen. In the next stanza, poet is saying, if the world one day will end up like the Hiroshima, we don't know. We all know that how Hiroshima ended in within a minute, within a second, when America just attacked with nuclear weapon, and Hiroshima was totally finished. So poet is saying that he is not knowing that one day the world will end up like Hiroshima, because that happened suddenly. It was a sudden happening. The end of Hiroshima was sudden happening. So poet is saying that we don't know whether this world will end up like Hiroshima, whether the Himalaya would sink into the Tithys Ocean. Tithys Ocean, student, it has been said that where the Himalaya is at present, at that place in the olden time, when the earth was just survived, earth was just taken the shape, and all living beings are just growing. At that time, in the place of Himalaya, there was an ocean named Tithys. Okay, and due to the tsunami explosion, due to tsunami, the two land collide each other, and the Himalaya took birth. Through this way, the Himalaya came to shape. So under the Himalaya there was the Tithys Ocean. The poet said that we don't know that whether the Himalaya would again sink into that Tithys Ocean once more. Whether our nail would be like a sharpened dagger. Dagger means, children, dagger is a kind of weapon which is shorter than sword, and it is two-edged weapon. Okay, dagger is a two-edged weapon. Two-edged, both side. You can attack with both the side. Two-edged, two-edged weapon. So, and it is shorter than the sword. So, poet is saying that we don't know one day our nail would grow like a sharp dagger. Whether people would stay blind and deaf to the word of love, we don't know. Poet is saying that maybe, I don't know whether all the people of the world, they will be blind and deaf to the word of love, because through love we spread the humanity, through love we spread warmth. But poor thing that one day we don't know whether everyone will be blind and deaf to the word of love, and there will be hatred all over the world. There will be hatred, hatred will spread all over the world, and poet think that maybe it will happen soon, because nowadays we are saying how terrorist attacks are taking place, and how people are becoming cruel on the name of religion and caste and land dispute, how they are being so cruel and how they are hating each other. So it is the line signifies the present scenario of the world. In the next lines, poet is saying whether the word freedom would be written on the pages of history alone, we don't know. Poet is saying that maybe no one will be there to write the word freedom. It means that the freedom will be a lost thing from the world. It means no one will have the freedom as we have now. So poet is saying whether the word freedom would be written on the pages of history, means it means that it is something old thing. The word freedom will be old thing which we will find in the pages of history. There will be no existence of this word in the present scenario. Maybe this will happen one day. If the We don't know if a historian would live to pen down events in the hall of time. Poets is saying that we don't know whether any historian will live to write down these things on the pages of history or not. We don't know if one day we would have no more questions to ask. Yet then, maybe it will happen one day that there will be no question to ask, nothing will be left. But yet then, this in last two stanzas are very last two verses are very beautiful written. It's very beautifully the poet is describing, yet then we will live to dream of a beautiful world. We will give our sweat and tears for the world tomorrow, and leave behind at least a dream for those to follow. Poet is saying that maybe the worst thing happened to the world. Poet is saying that he is only imagining this thing. He is only thinking about the such type will happen in future, for the world tomorrow, for the world which will come tomorrow. Maybe this thing will happen. Yet then we will live to dream of a beautiful world. What poet is saying, that we will live to dream. We have to dream for a beautiful world tomorrow. We can't sit aimlessly like oh, this will happen one day, world will be finished and nothing to do. What is the need to do any beautiful things to the world? You stop dreaming about the beautiful worlds. Stop imagining about beautiful world. No, poet is saying no need to do that. Even the worst thing will happen, but you need to think of a beautiful world. Okay. And what at last poet is saying, that we will give our sweat and tears for the world tomorrow. Sweat and tears, we will just give our sweat and tears for the world tomorrow, the world which will come tomorrow. Means we have to give the hardship, we have to give the effort to make our world beautiful and a better place to live in, and leave behind at least a dream for those to follow. And we have to leave the place, we have to leave the world for our youngsters to follow those dreams. So here the poet ends with a beautiful note that we need not to stop dreaming for our world to make it a beautiful place to live in. So it's a very good sign that whatever will happen in future, you need not to worry and not to think of that. What you need to do, you need to do the thing what you can do to make this world a beautiful and better place. I hope students that you all of you have understood the chapter. Okay, thank you all, thank you very much.